Wait, fuck, what's the name?
I don't know. It's whatever the people watching this are seeing on screen right now. Hello, my name is Dragonite. I'm a nerd. These are my partners in crime. Shout yourselves out.
I'm Pi. I have a Tau profile picture, but I go by Pi.
Hi, my name is Najum Key. It's a name that I made when I was like 14, and I'm still super into it, which makes making college applications a little awkward. I'm also a very nerdy, and I do game maker stuff, and that's fun.
Oh yeah,
So
I do Game
woo!
Maker stuff too.
What's Game Maker?
Game Maker is an application where
No,
you
no, no.
put games into a box, and then someone else takes the box and they eat it.
That sounds
It's
super exciting.
excellent.
I thought you said which Game Maker.
Oh, I said what is Game Maker?
Okay, I was
Oh,
I was
that would
gonna
have
say
been a
like,
way better joke. Shit. I need to
well,
step up my joke game.
sometimes things work out and sometimes they don't.
I mean, I
Oh,
guess
But
you know, we
GMS2 is
should have
technically
checked
Game
before
Maker
it
10,
started.
right?
yeah, GMS2 is Game Maker 10.
You know, we probably should have checked our audio levels to make sure like one of us isn't super fucking loud.
That's
I
probably
always
gonna be
Nah,
hate
it's
me.
that
fine.
on.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
We
That's
can
the
we can worry about
problem
that
for
in episode
editing
2.
me. No, that's the problem for
Yeah,
you.
this is. Don't worry. This is episode 1. This is the pilot episode. Things will get worked
This
out
is
in the
to be
future.
episode 0
But
very soon if we don't get
I
this
guess so.
rolling.
I'm
Anyway,
doing that because computers start counting from 0.
uh,
Oh yeah, that
let's
would be totally the true
let's
nerd.
let's start talking about a game maker or something. So, I guess you
Yeah, we
guys
were
still
all
both use.
complaining about Game Maker 2 or something, but none of us really have the experience in it. Okay, so Dragonite, you've messed around with Game Maker 2. You were saying something about tile sets.
They're proper tile sets now. They're not just that you cut an image into pieces and stick it in random locations in the room.
Yeah, the collision. I mean, when you said that, you were excited for it, and then you tried it, and then
And
it
then I
wasn't really
realized I don't
exciting.
use tile sets because I'm a nerd who works with 3D.
Yeah, I mean, collision with tile sets seems convenient if that is the proper solution to what you want to do,
I've
but
played around
it
with it a
doesn't.
little bit and it does its job. I feel like I'm just scratching the surface with collisions with tiles, but they're almost
Yeah,
like simplified versions of objects at this point.
it doesn't seem like super exciting of a change necessarily.
We're gonna get
I
pilloried in
mean,
the
more
comments for
just
saying
like.
this.
Dude,
I mean,
I
it
remember
seems
when
like
tiles were
it's.
announced, and it was around the time when I was trying to make like a basic RPG thing, like where top down, like Mario and Luigi style, like Mario, like I don't know how to explain it other than like top down RPG. I was
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
make those Final Fantasy, Dragon's Quest, whatever the fuck you wanna like reference. I was trying to make one of those, and I was getting so pissed at the tile system. I just stopped using it. I just used a different. I have this like other app just for making tiles in like its own separate sheet, and then I use that image as like the background.
Admittedly, admittedly, if you want to make RPGs, RPG Maker is something that will get the job done. Or do you mean that you actually
Well,
made a giant background file?
No, I just made like 10 giant ass files. And
good
then I
lord.
was like, you know what? Fuck this project. I'm not going to finish it.
We will swear on this podcast, by the way, or at least these two will. I probably won't.
I probably won't.
Wait, what's going on?
Talking about swearing.
Oh, I will swear. I apologize if you are. I'll try and tone it down a little bit. But like, I tend to like swear sparingly, but also when I get excited, I just swear a lot. I don't know.
That's.
Swearing is a weird cultural thing where it's
I'm.
like these words are more intense than others because
We
they
could make an
reference
entire
things that
podcast
are.
episode dedicated to swearing. Who wants to do that?
Oh,
Uh.
try me.
I
Fucking
don't.
try. Try. Don't
I don't think
censor
that's a
me.
good idea. I mean, I feel like that behavior in regard to it is pretty common though.
It's
But
really not, I think. I'm pretty sure like more adults don't swear than do swear, but I'm in college and therefore most people around me swear, so I'm just like used to it. But I recognize in saying that like I am very much minority in this situation, and like, well, especially gamers, I imagine a lot of them are pretty used to swearing because gamers tend to have very high emotions. Not like not like as an insult, just like when you're playing a game, you're allowed to be
Yeah,
excited
yeah.
and you're allowed to curse a lot
I
of the
think I
time.
get more upset when I'm developing in Game Maker and something isn't working than when I'm playing in a video game and I die.
Well, it depends on the game for me or on the exact situation I'm in. Like Rivals of Aether, I just get so upset. when
Rivals is Rivals of Aether. So I've been playing that also a bunch, as I'm sure you noticed from like every 5 minutes. The thing I'm like opening and closing it.
Which, by the
um,
way, for people listening, Rivals of Aether is basically a pixely version of Smash Bros. On PC.
so Rivals of Aether is a fighting game made by Dan Forrest in the spirit of Smash Bros. Because he believes that the Smash Bros. Developers don't cater to a competitive online community, and he didn't like that,
Which
so
is
he
true.
decided to make it my own, right? So that's where we have the current Rivals of Aethers, which was recently released like 2 weeks ago, with like a single player mode and like a story mode and abyss mode. Is that all this fancy stuff? But where
Sounds
most
like
people
competitive online multiplayer game.
yeah, but where people really care about is the competitive online multiplayer. Like you can look at the achievements, less than 1% of people have fucking finished the abyss mode achievement, right? Because no one gives a shit about the single player stuff. The reasons you play this fighting game specifically is because of the online multiplayer. And the community is like actually quite large. Like I went to the Discord the other day and it's like, wow, this is like a pretty cool community full of people sharing like strategies, and there's like a speedrunning part of it, which I was super into, right? Um, and I was like, oh, I'll speedrun this eventually. Never gonna do it. Spoiler alert. But the thing about Rivals of Aether that's really interesting is that they have very small, very specific hitboxes, and that can make things very, very difficult. The game itself, even in a single player setting, is a little bit harder than Smash Brothers because what they've done is they've made all of your basic hits do like jack shit in terms of like knockback, and like but they deal like decent amount of damage. You're supposed to combo into them. So okay, so let me. If you guys don't know Smash Brothers is also a fighting
Very
game, but
little.
tends to be towards casuals, right? So no, it'll be quick. So, so
Wow.
Smash Brothers. The thing about Smash Bros is that your basic punches have quite a bit of knockback, right? And it can be very frustrating when you get hit by a basic ability and it knocks you back to the edge. So what Dan Fornes and his team want to do was to make knockouts much more skillful. What this means is that in the online community, it is very hard to KO people without getting a really good strong attack in, right? And so what this means is that the community is really, really tough and full of people who are very, very good at the game. And because it's rather small, it's an indie game and it's an online competitive fighting game. What this has turned into is if you go online, you are likely to be matched up with someone who has a much higher skill level than you. And that has made the game extremely frustrating to learn. And in fighting games, because knocking people out is so difficult, only people who've really gotten a good couple hours into the game are going to be able to do it well. And the better you can finish off games, the more frustrating it is to be the loser, right? The more frustrating it is because you feel like, oh, I didn't have a chance in that match. Have I talked for 20 minutes yet? Is that the podcast over?
I mean, you said
That
quite a
all
lot.
went straight over my head because I have no idea how fighting games work, but yes, I love it.
My input on Rivals of Aether is that I play Raster and I really like the combo
Oh,
where
fuck
you
you.
parry you parry
Fuck
someone to
that down
Steve,
special, dude.
relax.
Holy
No, 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 no.
shit.
Not the down special. I need to use that less because it ends up putting me in bad situations. But my favorite thing is just you parry someone's attack and you stun them, and then you do a sweet spotted up B, and it insta kills them most of the time, and that's how I get my kills. Like 90% of my kills are just from sweet spotted
Yeah,
up
I've
Bs.
been sort of really liking Crag because I think his boulder mechanic's really fun, and also he's very competitive with the down special into jump hit. It's like really his combos feel really good when you pull them off. You need like just you. It's very little practice you need, but you need a little bit of practice to get them off right. I think.
Now, to bring this conversation, or to try to get in in a
Oh,
way
by the
that's
way, Rivals of
closer.
Aether is made in Game Maker,
Yeah, I was gonna
so
say to hopefully relate it to something Drago can talk about a bit.
What's Game
It's
Maker?
made in Game Maker. Game Maker is a program where it's easy to use. You don't even need to know code, and you just make your games, man. You just go on our tutorials and learn to make games. Did I pull in enough new people who don't know how games work to make a
You
successful game
realize this is
making
gonna be on Dragon Knight's
program?
channel. Everyone's gonna fucking know what Game Maker is.
Except me.
I
I
mean,
should give him
I was
that
just
joke.
trying
The
to
joke wasn't funny in the first place.
I was just trying to imitate those sales pitches for it where it's like,
On the Steam page
man,
and
you don't
stuff.
even need to know how to program, and you'll just go in there and make incredible games. Like that's not true. I mean, you need to know what you're doing. Theoretically, you can use drag and drop, but
We should
eh.
do a game jam where we just
Also,
have to use drag and drop and see what the best we can
I
do
would
is.
I would
I
not
don't know Drag and Drop at all.
I
But it
would come out the other side of that as a corpse.
if we were able to start our own like game jam, I'd be into that. But also, like, I wouldn't participate at all because I'm not good at doing small things.
I mean, we can just do one
I
of
would
our
like
own
make
for
an
like
opening
us
menu
like
and like
4 people.
2 levels, and I'd be like, done. That's enough.
Then the strategy you got to use is to make your opening menu into the game.
My
You
opening
just
menu is a level on its own.
do talk trees.
Like open
That
fucking key lock to
the
get
goal
to.
of the game is to
Half
figure out
key,
how
I see what
to
you did
play the
there.
game. You have
Oh
to
shit!
you have
I
to
didn't even notice.
navigate the talk trees in order to figure out how to start a new game. And once you start a new game, you win.
Have you guys ever participated in a game jam?
I have not. I need my sleep, and I'm like non-functional after I go without sleep for a certain amount of time.
Well, you know what they say in game jams, he who sleeps wins. So it's not
Yeah,
like
I
they
tried
discourage you
to
from
enter
sleeping.
one once. I didn't finish the game, and I felt like so bad. I didn't even like submit it
I did
because it's like. Sorry,
yes,
go ahead.
no, you can speak. I was interrupting.
No, like you started first.
Okay,
Oh, come
whatever.
on, guys.
I
Hey,
I
awkward pause.
I did a bit
Someone
of
edit that out.
I did a very unofficial thing with a friend of mine where it's just us two, and our theme was flight. I made a crappy little game where well, I had fun making it. You're on a hang glider that is a very poor representation of how hang gliders work, and you have to throw rocks at birds who land on it and try to keep out of the storms that are going on to the left and right. It's about managing where your weight is distributed and all that.
That sounds
It,
like it
it
has a fair amount of depth for a game jam game.
it isn't really that much depth. You just like walk back and well, you climb back and forth on the hang glider and jump up and down to knock
Oh, but
birds
there has
off.
to be a rather like complicated physics engine under that. Like
No,
you
no, no, no.
usually
It's
just
just like it just like counts the number of birds, and if they're farther to one side than the other, it just like makes your glider like lean that way a little bit and just like move. It's not like actually
sounds pretty
calculating any
cool. Yeah.
physics.
Well, thanks for ruining my
But
illusion that you actually know what you're doing.
dude, I never know what I'm doing. That's the wonderfulness of making games. Of I actually do. I'm learning more of what I'm doing now that I'm actually trying to pay attention to how games work and game design and actual programming and things. But yeah, I may actually end up the college I'm going to has a game dev club thing, and they're getting a bit more
Yeah, they
organized
don't
now.
have any where I'm at, but like that was like the first thing I went to. And then I went to like there's like a gamers club here, but they meet on Fridays, and I have to do stuff on Fridays, so I can't go there.
Yeah.
Oh
The
well.
the game dev club that I'm going to though, it's starting to actually get reasonably organized because it wasn't before. You know, it was the type of thing where you go and you talk about game dev and then you don't actually do anything.
Like us?
But yeah, that's a good comparison. But the uh the thing is with that, they're starting to get more organized and they're using Unity, so I have to learn something that isn't GML for once.
Ooh.
So I can maybe learn how
Yo,
to
if you're gonna
program with
learn
3D
Unity, hit
physics or
me up because
something.
I've been like messing with that a little bit. I re-downloaded it like a week ago. I've not really delved into it, but it's like Because I've been learning C++ again. I've been trying to like use C++ in Unity because that's
Do they?
what a lot of the tutorials use.
Wait,
So,
don't they use C Sharp in Unity?
They use C Sharp and Unity, yeah.
Yeah, C Sharp and
oh, do they?
JavaScript.
Ah, shoot.
But
Does Unreal
Well,
use C++?
I gotta
I'm
learn one of
learning
those.
C++, but
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they both start with U. They're 3D game engines. It's basically the same
Unity, Unreal. What's the difference, really?
thing.
one of
Unreal
the
Unity.
that's worse, basically.
What?
Unreal Engine looks way worse, basically.
Funny you
Ha ha
mention
ha
that,
Wait,
because I've wanted to
ha
actually get into Unreal Engine at some point in my life, and haven't yet.
I just feel invalid whenever I talk about how I program all the time, and then it's like, oh yeah, what languages? And it's like, a game maker language. Yeah, that doesn't
But
mean.
like
Just
object-oriented
forget that
languages are
idea.
like everywhere. Like Python is going to be a little
Yeah,
bit similar to GameMaker. Lua is going to be very similar to GameMaker, right? Like it's not like the skill isn't transferable. It's just using something like GameMaker language sounds a little bit like amateur,
the
which it
thing is,
is,
Thanks
but
it's
it
for
just
doesn't.
naming
like
it that, Yo-Yo.
it's just like you have because you have like in comparing the way that I've heard Java and C compared is that Java is easier to learn, but C does fewer things for you. So if you learn C, it's easy to learn Java. Well,
Probably.
yeah, and then if you learn Java, it's a lot harder to learn C because you have to learn about things that Java just does for you automatically. And
Those stupid pointers.
that's what it's like with that's what it's probably going to be like with transitioning from GameMaker to any other thing except to a much greater extent because GameMaker does so much for you that like other programming languages don't or other development environments. I guess well, GML does so much for you that other languages don't.
I've tried to train myself to use coding practices that would probably be seen in other languages, like, I don't know, treating data structures in GameMaker as objects and being careful to manage the memory that they use and stuff like that, but even then, I'm
I
probably screwed if I were to try and learn C of right off the bat.
Yeah, like the thing about GameMaker for me is that I just don't spend enough time in it. Like I make all my projects are very small, compared to the stuff that Dragonite's been working on. I've seen your projects.
Uh,
I need to look at how many lines of code I have in that project I made at school again. It's in the thousands, but I mean thousands is nothing compared to your whole Pokemon construct you've made.
Construct 2.
I really want to meet
Construct.
I really want to meet somebody who's written more lines of code than me so I can feel better about myself.
Dude,
Dude,
if I wrote
you
the most lines of
were-
code out of any of us, I would feel awesome about myself. I think you should
This
feel
is
awesome,
true,
Dragon.
yeah. I don't feel good about having very small games,
It's like,
especially because
wow, I've written
especially if it's
20,000 lines to do something that people could probably do in like 12.
Well, and like, because also you're since you were talking about being careful about like trying to make things that you can that will be easily or more easily transferable into other programming languages. I mean that's probably where a lot of those lines come from, which isn't a bad thing. That's a good thing because you're just making yourself more versatile potentially in the future.
Are
I
you
mean, the most
implying
that
that I comment my code properly?
no, not about commenting, just about where you're saying with trying to manipulate,
no,
like
no one
manage the
comments here.
memory. Yeah, no one ends up commenting. You start commenting your code and then you don't continue. But
Yeah,
like the most that I
there'll
do
be
is
like
just like
whole
I
lines of code. You're like, what is this doing here? Oh, I'll just like comment it out. Suddenly, your entire game's fucking broken.
yeah I
I think
just
the
like
most descriptive comment I have is that middle finger
oh yeah that's
that
a
tells me
perfect
not to
comment.
mess with this script every time I open it up.
But
That's interesting.
the most that I do is just like remember to put semicolons after everything, even though you don't need it in GameMaker. And whenever you're doing an if statement, put equals equals instead of equals.
Oh god, yes.
When it's like you know that's little low level things versus your like
Yeah,
memory
coding
management and
languages are
everything.
fun.
The best thing about not
Well,
using double equals in other languages is that it will still work, but it won't work properly, and you'll have no idea why.
Oh gosh, that's gonna be scary because it's just gonna be that one time where I've written an entire like a whole thing that I pre-planned. I wrote it
Well,
like
you
pre-wrote
guys
it
have
in
like
Notepad++
coded in
or
other
something.
like programs though, right?
Well,
Like
I've
Java?
barely used other programs.
Yeah, like I've
mean,
used Eclipse before. I used like the like school when you go to school, they have like their own sort of compiler thingy.
I have
I've messed around
what?
in Lua with that. I think I showed you the website. It's like Code Combat.
Toad Combat.
I have
Code
messed around.
Combat. No, no, no. Code
It's like
Combat.
that,
Oh,
that, oh my gosh, that reminds me of like my favorite Game Grumps animated that I've ever seen. I'm not gonna
Oh, the
talk more
Mario
about it, but
Galaxy one where they're like,
yeah, the Mario Galaxy one.
Toad
They got the spears.
March.
We won't let these people take our land!
People? What people?
Anyway, uh,
No,
let's not keep
Dragon
talking
Knights
about
is
that,
really cool.
but
I'll like link you in a bit because like
yeah,
it's so good.
it's really good.
So like the Game Grumps have this moment. You know Mario
Well,
Galaxy, right? One of the best games
wait,
ever made.
hold on. I feel like we should hold on to this conversation till after
No,
the
have you beaten
podcast
Galaxy
and
yet?
talk about it.
no distractions.
Me? I have not beaten Galaxy yet. I'm not
Finished
playing
it,
it like
and then we
super.
continue talking about Galaxy.
I mean, okay, I guess we can keep talking about
All right,
Galaxy.
sorry. You can go ahead.
Well, no, it's fine. No, don't worry. I don't want to direct the conversation where it
Oh, I was worried about
isn't
spoilers.
gonna
This
go.
conversation's been going nowhere for 20 minutes now. I don't care.
I mean, this conversation hasn't been going nowhere. It's just been going all over the place. It hasn't been going to a specific location.
I
It's
gave
just
up trying to
meandering.
direct it like 5 minutes in. Now I'm just going to throw text on the screen that says what we're talking about, and it's going to be completely unrelated to the last thing that we
Oh
were
yeah,
talking about.
no, that is not
Anyway,
gonna
in
work.
order to make that process a little easier, then let's just keep talking about Galaxy since that's the subject we suddenly
All
got
right,
onto.
yo, Mario Galaxy. It's a platformer in fucking space.
Well, wait.
Fucking neat.
I mean, yeah,
At the start of the game, right? So the reason I was talking about game rooms before, we were talking about game rooms before. At the start of the game, you see Peach sends Mario a message that's like, "Hey, come get cake," and Mario's like, "Hell yeah!" So he runs through the like land and whatever, and he sees this toad. One of the toads is holding a spear, right? And this
Oh
Game Grumps,
yeah,
it's
I think I've noticed that.
yeah. So Game Grumps were like, "Wow, that's kind of fucked up to think about toads like having wars and
yeah,
with
they're like
spears and stuff."
warring against each other, and then but the thing is that like right after that, Bowser comes in with his airships, and he just like destroys them, and he's launching all these fireballs that are like,
That
you
thing's
know
on
that
fucking fire.
it
Shit
only
goes
shows Toads getting
down.
frozen, but you know that those things can kill. Like, just look at them.
Yeah, Toad's getting frozen by fireballs because Nintendo logic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you'll have to watch it later. I don't think you'll be able to watch it now unless we want to like all watch it at the same time during the fucking podcast.
that's not a good idea.
It's
That's
That would
just really
that
very
would
bad.
be the
cool.
death of this podcast.
But
What do you think
yeah.
Game Grumps are going to flag us?
No,
No, because
just
that would be the best way to make sure that none of us ever want to do it again.
yeah, trying to coordinate that would be a nightmare.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
All right.
But yeah,
Well,
Galaxy in general is a very, very cool game.
yeah, I enjoy there's some bosses and some levels that are like a little under the par of the others, but the vast majority of things are just like they're super enjoyable. There's always some new idea that they're throwing at you, but it's not like overwhelming you with mechanics. It's just introducing new things to you like naturally. It feels natural where you're learning something easily just through playing the game normally, and then all the ways that like the different boss designs. My favorite one was the Bouldergeist so far. That guy's just great. A bunch of
Okay, I'm not
rocks.
gonna lie, my attention is like super split up. Sorry. You used a poltergeist? Wait, when
No,
is this?
no, Bouldergeist. He's in the like the
Oh,
haunted
okay.
the
The
haunted
boss, Bouldergeist, not
galaxy.
not the Poltergeist or whatever it's called.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah. Not the
Not the
vacuum.
thing from Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah. But
Okay,
the
okay.
I just love that it's like this bunch of rocks that's being possessed by some ghost, and then he throws rocks at you. But the way that his attacks work, I feel like
The
are
enemy
super
design is
enjoyable.
very, very clever in that game. They don't have too many enemies, but like because like there's a lot of levels that just don't even have enemies, right? There's a lot
There's
of
a lot
levels
of
that are like,
enemies that are just purely platforming, yeah.
yeah, but the enemies that are there are very clever. There's like an enemy that like it goes up and then when it stomps down, there's like this little shockwave thing, and they use it to they like to lap it in with other obstacles. So you're doing your basic platforming, and then there's just like this
The
shockwave that
random
comes.
laser shockwaves, right?
Yeah, and so it's just one of those little things that I found really satisfying, where it's like you time your jump to avoid both the shockwave and you make the jump, and it's like
And then you can just
it
do
adds
triple
to
jumps for
the
no reason, and it's super satisfying.
And then you accidentally triple jump off the edge and then die. Triple
Yo,
jump.
I'm so sad they took out triple jump. That was so good.
Wait, what?
The
Huh?
in the later like
Took
in
out.
3D world, there's no triple jump. You just
I
have the leap and like the normal jump.
I
I
guess
am
I'm not gonna
suddenly
play
much less
3D World.
excited to play that game.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It's still good. It's still good like platforming, but there's a lot less of like the more intense skills. I imagine because they have catsuit now and they want to make it like, oh, use this catsuit instead of like trying to triple jump
That's
up that
true.
really
Oh,
high wall.
probably.
Trying to make it not so that you can just like traverse everything as normal Mario. So it's removing options, but it's also making each thing feel like
It's specializing one
make
of
it,
the suits to be more effective,
yeah,
basically.
it's making
It's
the
highlighting the thing that they wanted to
suit
sell the
be
game on.
yeah. Also, this is a
Fulfills
side note
fantasy.
going back to Galaxy in reference to enemies. Why are there the two different types of Goombas? They're like the normal ones, and then they're like the small circular green ones or
Small.
greenish ones.
Oh, isn't that just because of the lighting?
No, no, no. They were I remember. I think I was seeing like two in different like that were in the same
You're losing free
area
will, man.
because there's some that are smaller.
Green Goombas.
That doesn't ring a
No,
bell.
I don't remember them at all.
If you're
I
not
don't
talking
here. Wait,
about the cave Goombas,
let me see if I can find it. One moment.
Hey Dragonite, do you
yeah.
remember the very first level of Mario Galaxy on the
The
Bunny Planet?
um the Star Bunnies, yeah.
What did you think of that level?
It was infuriating because Star Bunnies.
Yeah, that level I think
It
turned me
wasn't
off from the game at
it wasn't my
first
favorite
massively.
introduction to the game, but I'd seen
I'm
a
glad
Let's Play of it
we
before I
agree on
started
this.
playing, so I knew what was going to happen and I knew the game was going to get better.
Note that we're going to get crucified now because we criticize Mario Galaxy, but also like that game, I was like really into the first level after I had beaten the game. You know, after I beat the game, I was like, oh man, this level's so cute and clever and amazing. But like the first time you play it, those bunnies are so fucking hard to catch. And I think part of it's just because you have to use the nunchuck. The Wii remote is connected to like this little deep, like it's not a D-pad. What do you call it? Analog stick?
The
It's connected
joystick.
to an analog
Yeah.
joystick. Wow, I'm an idiot. Yeah. So the joystick, it's like it feels a little weird to control Mario with a joystick, in my opinion.
You think?
I'm just
I
not
don't think
used to
so.
it.
I played the entirety of Super Mario 64 on my DS with the D-pad. I don't know what I don't know what that has to do with this conversation, but
Mario 64
I'm
is
like
like
one
its
level into
own
Super
bag of
Mario
worms.
64 DS, and I just cannot do that game.
I that was my child. That's how I experienced Super Mario 64 with the D-pad on the DS, and I had no problems with
Yeah,
it.
me as well.
I don't know if it's because
Did
I'm
any
just
of
used
us?
to playing Galaxy and 3D Land and stuff, but I
That's
just
true.
was
It's
not
probably
able
gonna
to
be
do Super Mario 64 DS.
hard going back to it now that I'm playing Galaxy a bunch. By the way, I looked up the Goombas in Galaxy. They're called Micro Goombas, and they're just slightly smaller. And I think that their behavior is slightly different in that when you defeat them, they can't drop star bits; they only drop coins.
I never
Oh, you
noticed
know
there were
what?
different
You're
ones.
right. I have seen this.
So there goes that. Or well, not there. I don't know why I said there goes that. That doesn't make sense.
No, no,
Anyway,
we've solved the fucking mystery of what the fuck Pi was talking about.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, I think we've been talking for a while. How long has this recording been going on?
About a half hour, a little less.
All right, I think I gotta go soon.
All right, I'm gonna go
and
play
do
like
my
20
thing.
hours of Chimera because, my God, my attention is like super focused on that game right now.
I'm going to probably end up playing not Game Maker. Oh my goodness, playing 10-Second Ninja for like 5 hours, and then
All right,
packing that
next time
over
we
to
meet,
my trip tomorrow.
When
okay?
is that going to be, by the way?
I'll
When are
bring
we
it up
going to do
later.
this
I'll bring it up
next?
later.
We can coordinate. It should probably be on a Saturday, but we should officially end the podcast, I guess, first. Be like, hey guys, we're going, you know.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
This is the weirdest end to podcast.
We had the
Hope
same
you all
fucking idea.
enjoyed. Have a great
Okay.
time with the rest of your day. Until next time.
Yeah.
So Pi is just
But
going for every podcast ending ever.